So, I know I've been very absent lately, but to be completely honest, college has been a hell, and well, I've been distracted with other things. But now we're back, and I'm now halfway through my career. And I'm gonna be honest, I'm a little scared for the future. I've seen a lot of graduated students all around the world with great experience not getting a job, and that's something that genuinely scares me. So I want to build my portfolio, and one of the things that I want to learn is how to make an app. I'm very passionate about it. So yeah, and I'm an Apple fanboy. So I'm obviously doing this in Swift. I have a MacBook, so I have access to Swift Playground, which is completely free. I made some courses and I want to show you what I learned. I do want to clarify, I'm not the best teacher out. I wouldn't even call this a tutorial, but I do think it might help you to understand a little bit of how Swift works. So, a tiny bit of context. Swift is Apple's programming language, released in 2014 to replace an older language called Objective-C, which was not fun to write. Swift was designed to be simpler, faster, and safer. And then in 2019, Apple released Swift UI, which is a framework that we'll be using today. It's a modern way to build the visual part of your app, and it works across iPhone, iPad, and Mac, even Apple Watch. The cool part is that Swift Playground, the app I used to learn, lets you write real Swift UI code and see it running on your Mac in real time. Okay, now to start. Um, the first thing you need to know is that everything you see on a screen in a Swift app is called a view. A view is just a thing on a screen, a piece of text, a button, and an image. All of those are views. And the way you build a layout is by putting views inside other views. So to get started, I created this view that just has a simple circle in it. And as you can see, it's huge and wide, which is not really what we're looking for. To fix that, we'll use modifiers. A modifier is just an instruction you put right after a component. You write a dot, and then you say what you want to change. So I'll add a color and a size modifier, and look, now we have a small black circle. Now I can keep adding things to this view, like some text, a rectangle, but look how messy it looks. Everything is just stacked on top of each other, which has no organization, and to fix that, we use stacks. Stacks is just a way to organize some of your components. I'll wrap everything in an H stack, which arranges things horizontally. That's why it's an H. And notice how it changes immediately. Okay, for this example, I'll simplify things, just the circle and a button. And I'll switch it to a VStack, just because this example is better like this. Okay, now we have a button, but it doesn't do anything yet. For that, I need a state variable. Think of a state variable as a value that the view is constantly watching. And the moment it changes, the view updates itself automatically. So I created a variable that is called isYellow. And it starts as false because the circle starts black. When the button is pressed, it flips that variable to true. It changes it. And the circle color now depends on it. If it's yellow, is true, the color is now yellow. If it's false, it's black. Now I created a second view. This one has a rectangle and some text. And yeah, you can modify text too, using modifiers, obviously. Same way as any other component. And here I made it bold and monospaced. You'll also notice that I have an H stack inside a V stack here, which means you can absolutely nest stacks inside each other. And I have a new state variable. This one controls the width of the rectangle. It's connected to a slider that goes from 50 to 400, and as you move it, the rectangle resizes in real time. it also displays the exact number using this text down here. But now, how do we actually switch between these two views? How do we see the rectangle and the circle? Right now, they're completely separated. That's where navigation comes in. I created a main screen with a list, circle, and rectangle. Each one is a navigation link, which means tapping it takes you to that view. The whole thing's live inside a navigation stack, which handles the back button and the transition automatically. There are another type of navigation. Actually, there's one that lets you make a sidebar, but we'll use just the navigation stack. And well, that's it. It's that easy. We already have our app. I made some tweaks so that we had more shapes to interact with, but that's it. We have views, modifiers, stacks, state, and navigation. But there's something that we still need to explore. For example, I did notice that if we go into the circle and click the button, we go back and then come back in, it resets. The circle is black again, and the rectangle width is back to 200. That's something we need to explore, and that's something related to data models and environment objects, which we'll talk about in the next part of this video. So, as you can see, it was a very small tutorial and talking about the basics. I'll hopefully make the part two soon. There are a lot of things to explore, like animations or making an actual app someone would use, not a shape app. Um, I'll keep developing this app. Maybe change it to something more useful. Maybe change it to something I would use. I think that's a cool project. So yeah, that was part one. I hope you liked it and maybe learned something. Like I always say, like and subscribe.